Hey guys, welcome back to Mojo Homestead. Today we are going to be doing something a little different and having fun. So, as you can see, got my whiteboard out here and we're gonna have some school, kind of. I'm out here in the garden, just enjoying it. Got done with work a little bit early today, so came out here to get a little bit more done. It is looking really good. I have the bean tunnels up kind of temporarily, but they're not like fastened in, but they are kind of in place so that we can sort of see what it looks like, and it's really just starting to take shape, which is really, really exciting. Makes me want to like get something in the ground and get started. But that's not what I'm talking about. Not really anyway. Wanted to talk about just layout and design. I think it's one thing that gets overlooked, sadly, when people homestead or are thinking about laying out their homestead. Outside of that, just your yard or a garden. Like, backyard gardens don't have to be your traditional plain just blah kind of rows. You want to get some interest in there. One, I believe it makes it a lot more enjoyable to be in there. And two, you can really maximize space. Don't really think about that because you just sort of think, well, we do it in rows because it maximizes space, but that's not necessarily true. Wanted to kind of look at that from a gardening standpoint, but also a whole overall like homestead layout standpoint. If you are in kind of that beginning stages of laying out your homestead or starting homesteading or even just a backyard garden, hopefully this is the video for you and it will give you some ideas to implement to just make it a better space, you know, just mentally a better space. So if you guys find this helpful, be sure to let me know just by giving a thumbs up. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. I would love to answer them for you. This is definitely going to be more of a crash course kind of thing, so don't hesitate to let me know. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. I realize that not everyone is inclined towards, you know, being artsy or creative, and so I'm gonna try to explain this in a way that might work for you, if that's you. Design is a form of art, and you know, the land or your yard or your garden or whatever it is that you are putting that focus on is the canvas. And it's an opportunity to create. And it's an opportunity to create something beautiful. Our friend over at Roots and Refuge, Jess, talks a lot about this. You know, like not only just growing something beautiful, but creating a beautiful space. And I do think that that is really important. You know, we have videos out there that talk about kind of the daily grind, and you know, sometimes it's just not fun. But if your space is one that you want to be in, it makes those days much, much easier. So design, how do you do it, right? One way that you can look at it is kind of like music. Music is a form of art. It's an expressive form of art. Design is an expressive form of art. It should express who you are, reflect who you are. And so if we look at it in a musical sense, music has three basic components. I know there's more for you like music majors out there, but we're just gonna focus on like the very, very basics. Rhythm, melody, and harmony. You've got your rhythm, which is what kind of that beat that carries the song. You know, it sets the tempo for the song. And then you have the melody, which is the basic notes that carry you through that and kind of flow through the song. It's sort of the, I guess, the very basic like meat part of the song. And then you have harmony, which really adds like that pizzazz to the song. It takes it from blah to like, wow, you know, it gives it a character. And so when you look at it in that sense, design has those three components. You know, very basic blah layouts are pretty much just gonna have like a couple of notes, like a melody, and then maybe a little bit of rhythm in there, and that's it. How do you avoid that? I would say that even like your stereotypical like homestead layout or orchard layout or garden layout with the rows, pretty much just kind of a rhythm. It's just a beat. and that's all you get. And it's just sort of there, and it's blah, and it's not very fun to look at. So we're gonna look at how to change that. So this is gonna be my beat. So beat can be established in rows or kind of bulk items. So, you know, you think about like your trees or your bigger masses in the landscape, that's what's gonna create that rhythm and kind of carry you through. For us, our orchard is in lines, and so as you drive up to the property, you kind of get this, you know, the start to this rhythm that's going along. The other way to look at this, so like if it is more of your bulk items, would be something that's like visually heavy, like a bigger shrub or something like that. So you actually could have something, we'll just say like this, maybe another one here, maybe another one here, sort of this big dominance thing. That's cool. So those are your beats in design. We're gonna do like a hypothetical here. So let's say someone has a big property, they have this driveway that comes in, and then the house is up here, and we're just gonna say everything's out in the front. So one thing that you could do that would be creative, that would be outside the box, is create this rhythm with your fruit trees. We'll just say you're growing fruit trees. Instead of doing like a grid, like boom, 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 instead of doing something like that that's sort of boring, you could jazz it up a little bit and do them like along the driveway. So you've got a beat, you got a beat, you got a beat, a beat, and hey, maybe it continues, it jumps the driveway. We'll say the driveway circles around in front of the house, and it continues on up. It creates that stable leading through the space. And then your melody is going to be something that sort of plays with that beat. It goes with the beat. The beat's going to lead everything. All right, so melody will be, we'll do red. So we'll say like, hey, maybe you got like, I don't know, berry bushes, and maybe they're going to go like this. So it sort of weaves and bobs through there and maybe jumps across. It's something that sort of is going to follow the beat through, you know, just sort of come through, interact with the beat, weave through it. Food forest sets up perfect for this, you know, doing something like that. And this could be in your garden space as well. And then you have the fun part, the harmony, right here, Mr. Blue. This is where you can really get creative. This is where it gives you start to get more of that fun playfulness to the landscape. So let's say the garden comes in and starts to create that harmony. So the garden space is over here. So maybe you have something that leads you into this garden space, and then your rows are, I'm gonna cheat and do it like we did. So your rows are sort of maybe arching off of this central point in this like radial fashion kind of thing. Lays out more of a playful type thing. This could even continue on down, you know. The other thing that I would put under harmony is a playful space. Like if you have a fun bird bath or a fountain or something like that that really sort of throws things just a little bit off kilter. Maybe, you know, you have this big fountain that goes in there, and then you've got something else that sort of maybe interacts and intertwines with this stuff. So basically the harmony is much more playful. You can get some twists and turns. Maybe it's just playful in the sense of color. It doesn't have to be curvy lines. It could be little pops of color that are kind of throughout here, or hello rooster, or just throughout the landscape. So how does all of this apply to the garden? For us in our garden, I would say that our raised beds are the bulky items. That would be sort of the beat throughout, and it doesn't carry all the way through, but it doesn't always have to. Our melody would actually be our rows, which even though they're radial, they are still what I would consider to be more of the melody aspect of it, because our harmony is actually going to be created with a spot of attention here, bean tunnels going across. That's kind of a playful jump vertically. Also, you know, we're doing on either side of the entrance, we're doing green stalks. That's something that's also kind of playful, harmony-like, sets it up. It all kind of plays together. This is just a fun way, easy way to kind of think about it. And it's just thinking outside the box. That's really what I'm trying to get at. I hope I haven't lost you guys in all of this, but just a crash course, something to think about. You want your staples in the landscape, your rhythm. And then you want your lines that are just sort of a continuous. It could even be the driveway could act as the melody. Something that's sort of a continuous, easy to see, and then you throw in your fun little sections here and there. In a nutshell, that's really like all it is. And so I hope this helps you guys out a little bit. I hope it gives you something to at least think about. That was really kind of my main goal on here, not to give you an all-out like design course, but just to change up the way that we think about things, because we can get in a rut, especially when we're thinking about like, oh, providing, gotta grow food, all that stuff. But it doesn't have to be boring. It can be fun, it can be playful, it can be entertaining. There's ways that you can maximize space that also are gonna be great design decisions and make an area, a garden, look a lot more interesting than just your traditional style garden. So thank you guys for joining me. Regardless of what you do, get out there, grow something this year. Grow something. Whatever you can do is gonna help you, it's gonna help the food system, it's gonna help everyone. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great week and be blessed.